The American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, also known as the ASPCA, estimates that there could be as many as 10,000 puppy mills across the nation. Today I'm going to be talking about puppy mills, which is a great threat. Just because you know about the phrase puppy mills does not necessarily mean you know what's going on. What I would like you to take away from today is to be aware of the dangers and the benefits of adoption. I'm going to go over 3 main points. The first being the problem, which is puppy mills abuse and neglect their animals to make a profit. The cause, being the breeders or mill owners cut corners and make this practice an issue. And the next one being the solution, being the adoption process is a must when looking for a new family member. According to the ASPCA, the first humane society in America, 10 to 1,000 dogs are being bred at each puppy mill. Once the female dogs can no longer produce the puppies, they are usually killed off. Puppy mills are very popular with overcrowded and unsanitary conditions, being there is no vet care, no clean water or food, no socialization, and these dogs never get to experience a normal life. They are also stored in small wire cages, usually stacked in columns, just like the picture shown. And these wires on the bottom of the cages usually injure the pads at the bottom of their feet. Now, according to the Animal Rescue Corporation, a nonprofit protection organization that works with the government, these wire bottoms are made to have the feces of the animal fall through and go on the ground. But if the cages are stacked up in columns like they usually are, these feces will fall to the dogs below. There's also very high ammonia levels due to urine buildup. Now back to the ASPCA, these sick puppies that are produced can have many hereditary conditions. They can also have behavioral issues due to the lack of socialization, and they can have many diseases when arriving at stores and homes of owners. Now you can definitely tell from what I just stated that these puppy mills definitely do abuse their animals. They do not have the necessary needs to survive. They are forced to live in small wired cages, and they can have many diseases and behavioral issues. Now, since there's a problem, there's definitely a cause that goes along with this, and this happens to be the mill owners. The profit takes precedence in this situation, according to the ASPCA. Dogs are bred at every opportunity, according to Kristen Kenny, the author of a law review on puppy mills, to maximize profit. Now, going back to the ARC, these dogs are bred in order to maximize profit. Puppies produce litters until they're no longer to conceive anymore, which is very stressful for their bodies and is not a concern to these owners because they are seen as disposable money-making machines. Because it can be too expensive, the puppies are taken away very early from their mothers and sold off because these puppy mills want to make money, not spend money. There also is much misrepresentation of the mills in advertising. They're usually posting happy pictures of dogs playing in the grass and posting cute basket pictures while they're actually being deprived of their basic needs. The owners of the mills are also very sneaky. They never allow you to go to the mill to pick up the animal. They always meet you at another location because they're hiding you from what's going on behind the walls. Now you can definitely tell that these owners are cutting corners to make a profit. They're mass producing these animals more than they can handle. They're just taking away these puppies and depriving them from basic developmental needs. They're misrepresenting themselves in the media, and they're also very shady when it goes to the deals that they make. Now there's a silver lining to this issue, and that's the solution. According to the Animal Rescue Corporation, mills produce millions of dogs, while shelters euthanize them. Millions. Now this should not happen, because if we all, get together and start adopting dogs from shelters, we can help this issue. Adoption should always be your first option. If you cannot find the dog you're looking for in a shelter, try a breed rescue group. You can find purebreds and mixed breeds at shelters. Now, if you can't find your purebred dog at your shelter, then go to a reputable breeder. A reputable breeder usually screens buyers for homes to make sure that your family is okay. You should also try to meet the puppy's parents before you buy them to see that they're healthy and everything's okay, and go to the site of the breeder to make sure that they are not doing any shady deals. You can also deal with PetSmart Charities. PetSmart Charities is a nonprofit animal welfare organization that has helped over 6 million animals since 1994. They provide adoption events and weekends at any PetSmart location for dogs and other animals. They also provide grants to shelters to increase space in these shelters for more dogs to live there, to be adopted. And you can definitely see that adoption is a very great solution to this issue. You can look for purebreds and mixed breeds. If you cannot find your dog you want at a shelter, you can try a reputable breeder. And you can also try PetSmart Charities because they're also another great contender. Now I'm going to review the main points that I discussed today. The first being the problem, the puppy mills. The second, the cause, or the owners of the mills. And the third, the solution, which is adoption. Now, in the beginning of this presentation, I mentioned statistics, that there is nearly 10,000 puppy mills across the nation. Now, if we all do something together and start adopting dogs from shelters, or going through reputable breeders, we can lower the number of puppy mills in the nation by not giving them as much business as they usually have, which declines their product, and they go out of business. Thank you. Focus. Farther. Good. Good. No cards this time. Okay.